Hello everyone, we are going to open up another one of these commander decks, Prismari Performance, with a very cool looking commander dude. Yeah, when I saw this art for the first time I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play this one day, because he looks so awesome. Look at that. Oh, right, so this is just a print, this is not the actual card. So let's see what we will get inside. We get a whole big box of nothing with push out things and a very neat. I've always loved the color combination of red and blue. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. It's almost like purple. Yeah, this divides, well, actually fills up the empty space. A booklet. Tokens and the deck itself. First, let's take a look at this thick card, the etched card for the commander of this deck. Zafai, the Thunder Conductor. Yeah, Prismari is all about music and art and stuff like that, I believe. So, yeah, let's take a look at what he does. For 4 mana, it's a 1/4 with Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, scry 1. If that spell's mana value is 5 or greater, create a 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token. If that spell's mana value is 10 or greater, Zafai, Thunder Collector, deals 10 damage to an opponent chosen at random. Oh my, at random. That's nice. So it's all chance. Well, that's one way to not create a lot of enemies. Very, very cool. So yeah, here is the regular version, because you cannot put the thick one into your deck, or else people will know that you play that card at that moment. So yeah, this is the actual card for in the deck. And the second commander here is Veiran, the Voice of Duality. For 3 mana, it's a 2/2 with Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Veiran, the Voice of Duality, gets +1/+1 until end of turn. If you casting or copying an instant or sorcery spell. Oh, this is just a weird sentence. So, okay. If you casting or copying an instant or sorcery spell cause a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. That's a really, well, that's a cool ability, but it's a really unfortunate sentence there. Right, let's take a look at the deck itself. Start off here with a Sphinx, the Dazzling Sphinx. For 5 mana, it's a 4/5 flying, and whenever Dazzling Sphinx deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then that player puts the exiled cards that weren't cast this way on the bottom of their library in a random order. Inspiring Refrain. For 6 mana, sorcery. Draw 2 cards. Exile Inspiring Refrain with 3 time counters on it. Suspend 3. Oh my god, we have new suspend cards? Oh, that's amazing. Oh, and it's in a blue and red deck. Oh my god, Joyra would be so happy. Muse Vortex. For 2 and X, a sorcery. Exile the top X cards of your library. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value X or less from among them without paying its mana cost. Then put the exiled instant or sorcery cards that weren't cast this way into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Octavia, the Living Thesis. For 10 mana, we get a legendary creature. It's an elemental octopus. It's an 8/8. This spell costs 8 less to cast if you have 8 or more instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard. It has Ward 8 and Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, target creature has base power and toughness 8/8 until end of turn. Oh, all about that octopus. Sly Instigator. For 4 mana, it's a 2/4 with the ability for 1 blue tap. Until your next turn, target creature an opponent controls can't be blocked. Goad that creature. Cool. Creative Technique for 5 mana sorcery with Demonstrate. Shuffle your library, then reveal cards from the top of it until you reveal a non-land card. Exile that card and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. You may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. A Fiery Encore. For 5 mana as a sorcery, discard a card and draw a card. When you discard a non-land card this way, Fiery Encore deals damage equal to that card's mana value to target creature or planeswalker. And it has Storm. Oh, and a new card with Storm. Oh my god. I thought Storm wasn't supposed to return. Well. Inferno Project. For 7 mana 0/0 trample. Inferno Project enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the total mana value of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. Radiant Performer. For 5 mana, it's a 2/2 with Flash. And when she enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, choose target spell or ability that targets only a single permanent or player. Copy that spell or ability for each other permanent or player the spell or ability could target. Wow. Each copy targets a different one of those permanents and players. Wow, that's really, really good, I think. Although it's a bit costly, but still it's very, very nice. Rionya, the Fire Dancer. For 5 mana as a 3/4. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create X tokens that are copies of another target creature you control, where X is 1, plus the number of instant and sorcery spells you've cast this turn. They gain haste and exile them at the beginning of the next end step. Rousing Refrain. For 5 mana as a sorcery, add red for each card in target opponent's hand. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. Exile Rousing Refrain with 3 time counters on it. That's a spend 3 for 2. Sweet. Surge to Victory. For 6 mana, it's a sorcery. Exile target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. Creatures you control get +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is that card's mana value. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player this turn, copy the exiled card. You may cast a copy without paying its mana cost. Reinterpret. For 4 mana instant counter target spell, you may cast a spell with an equal or lesser mana value from your hand without paying its mana cost. Oh wow, that is really, really neat. Elementalist's Palette. For 3, it's an artifact. Whenever you cast a spell with X in its mana cost, put 2 charge counters on Elementalist's Palette. If you tap it, you can add a mana of any color, and also if you tap it, you can add a colorless for each charge counter on Elementalist Palette, and you can only spend it on costs that contain X. Right, that's it for the new cards. Now for the reprints, we have Aether Gale, Aether Spouts, Dig Through Time, Diluvian Primordial, Metallurgic Summonings, Mind's Desire, Narumeha Master Wizard, Swarm Intelligence, Talrand the Sky Summoner, Apex of Power, Blasphemous Act, Brass Bounty, Charmbreaker Devils, Dualcaster Mage, Erratic Cyclops, Itali the Primal Storm, Jaya Ballard, Sunbird's Invocation, Volcanic Vision, Wildfire Devils, Cole the Skybreaker, Epic Experiment, Pyromancer's Goggles, another Exotic Orchard, this one is in every deck so far, Scavenger Grounds, Sheevan Reef, Temple of Epiphany, Resculpt, Stormkiln Artist, Elemental Masterpiece, Expressive Iteration, Rutha, Mercurial Artist, A Letter of Acceptance, Prismari Campus, Study Hall, Brainstorm, A Living Lore, Ponder, Serum Visions, Traumatic Visions, Treasure Cruise, Fateless Looting, Fiery Fall, Humble Defector, Mana Geyser, Seething Song, Crackling Drake, We have an Arcane Signet, Hedron Archive, Izzet Signet, Mindstone, Soul Ring, Talisman of Creativity, Blighted Cataract, Command Tower, a Desert of the Fervent, Desert of the Mindful, Forgotten Cave, Izzet Boiler Works, Lonely Sandbar, Mage Ring Network, Memorial to Genius, Myriad Landscape, Reliquary Tower, Temple of the False God, and a whole bunch of basic islands and mountains. So then we have the token pack, which contains copies, constructs, elementals. On the other side here we have a Drake, multiples, and treasures and elementals, but this time the elemental of called the Skybreaker. Right, there you have it. Zafai, very interesting deck by the looks of it. Can't wait to play it. So yeah, there you have it. That's the Izzet deck. Thank you all for watching and see you all next time. Bye bye.